Hey everybody, good morning. This is Glenn from Glenn's Gourmet Eats, and welcome to my channel. If you're new here and you like what you see, please hit that subscribe button and give me some little thumbs up there. Today we're going to be doing I guess it's our third annual barbecue taste test, and today what we're going to be doing is I have a bunch of grills and I'm going to be smoking ribs on each of these smokers here, and we're going to decide which one's best. We're going to look at the ribs themselves and see what they look like, and we're going to be tasting them and looking at the smoke ring, tasting for, taste, of course. Looking at the tenderness of it. Is it fall off the bone? Is it have a little bite to it? These kind of things we're going to be looking at from each of these grills. I'm going to try to make everything as consistent as possible. So what I'm doing is I'm going to season them all the same with a little salt, pepper, garlic rub. All right, let me backtrack a second here. So first of all, each rib is going to get a coating of this mustard, yellow mustard, as a binder. From what I understand, it might look like it adds flavor, but it doesn't. It's just something that's going to help keep the rub on the meat. And this is the rub I'm going to use on all the ribs today. It's Sucklebuster's SPG, salt, pepper, garlic. That's all that is. So again, there's 3 grills here. I'm going to use them all. I'm going to put them at 250. And no matter what the temperature on the grill says, they're all going to run at 250. There's going to be my Masterbuilt 560. I'm going to do my Pit Boss Pellet Smoker and my char-griller 980. And like I said, all these are going to be running. No, let's go back. 10 barbecue smoking. You want to go between 200 and 275 usually for smoking. So I decided to put these all on 250 degrees and do them consistently. As soon as they're, tender and I can stick a, skewer through them without any resistance, it's like butter going through the knife, butter going through the meat, I'll know they're done and I'll take them off. And like I said, we're going to keep everything as consistent as possible. The last thing, my friend Nick, he's going to be doing it on his Weber Kettle smoker, and he's been doing that for a little bit now, and I think he's said he's down to almost perfecting what he wants. So we're going to do that. Now that's going to be harder to, let us say, keep the temperature regulated, because, and I'll show you on my Weber grill when we get to it, but it's doesn't have like a thermometer like the other grills that I have, a thermostat. So let's get started and let's take a look at the grills. All right, I'm in my garage, and I'm not going to be using my Weber Kettle, as I said before. My friend Nick's going to be doing it and bringing the ribs over. I gave him the exact rub that I'm going to use on it, and the same wood that we're going to be doing. So let me get you over here a little closer and see if you can get in here. So this is the grill looks like. It's the Kettle grill. And what Nick is going to do is he's going to do indirect heat, which means he's going to place the charcoal down there in one side, and the ribs are going to be over here. So it's not directly over the heat source, it's indirect. And that's what he's going to do. It's probably going to take about an hour and a half to 2 hours for his all together. I also gave him some apple wood, which we're going to be using to put on his charcoal. So like I said, this, you really can't adjust the temperature. The way you adjust the temperature is by less charcoal or more charcoal, opening up your vents on the bottom there and letting more airflow come in, makes it hotter. Closing it up makes it a little cooler. It's a little trickier. It's the original way of doing smoking, I think. So that's, what he's going to be doing, and he'll bring his ribs over, and we'll see how those match up. Now, my prediction with these is they're going to be a nicer crust on them, but they're going to be a little drier than the ribs that I smoke on my other. So let's go to the other smokers. Okay, smoker number 2 is the Masterbuilt 560, and this is a gravity smoker, and you put your charcoal in here, light it. You can set your temperature over there, which I said I'm going to set to 250. In this, like I said, we're going to be using the same consistency. I'm going to be using these apple wood chunks in there. I don't know if you can see that, but This is what it's going to look like here. So I'll put one chunk in there or so. I don't want to overpower the flavor with the smoke. I want people to be able to taste the ribs. So let's go over to the next grill. And I think you've seen this grill before. This is the char-griller 980. And it's the same thing. It's a gravity smoker, so your charcoal goes in there, light from the bottom, set your temperature, and let it go away. So that's grill number 2. And the last grill we're going to be using today is the Pit Boss Pellet grill. Now, instead of using charcoal, this is going to use pellets. And because we're using apple wood and charcoal, I have apple wood pellets and actual charcoal blend pellets. So let me show you what these look like here. So this is what the pellets look like. And they're going to go in the hopper here. Turn this on, and it feeds the pellets into a burning thing down here and keeps it at temperature as well. So those are the 3 grills we're going to use in our competition today. Later on, I have about 13 guys coming over, and I said we're going to taste these, look at them, and judge which one's the best. Okay, here we are in my backyard for the rib tasting contest. We have 4 grills that we are going to be testing. We're going to be testing a pellet grill, a charcoal Weber Kettle, and 2 gravity-fed charcoal grills. So I have 10 guys here, and we're going to taste each 4 of them. And we're going to rate them on. Can I see that paper,
Yes,
Newt?
So appearance.
Appearance.
Smoke ring.
Smoke ring.
Juiciness.
Juiciness of the rib. Flavor. Texture and taste. Yep. So that's what we're going to be doing. So what each guy is going to sit here. They'll have 4 ribs on their plate, and they'll taste the first one. Actually, first we'll bring all the ribs out so everyone can look at the ribs before they're cut up, and that's where they're going to base their appearance on. So let's get started. So without telling you what grill these came off, this is ribs number 1. These are rib number 2, rib number 3, and rib number 4.
All right, a rib should look like a rib.
Who are you?
Who am I? My name is Brian Schaefer. I'm a friend of Glenn Stahl, the chef master of our host of the mostest here. So I know Glenn from teaching boys Sunday school with him for many years. And we took a couple boys by the ribs, so we're going to look at some ribs today.
Yes, we did.
So number 1, they all look good. They all look delicious. You know, I think some of them are lighter colors and some of them are darker colors. So my expectation is a little bit more of the darker color, more of a red barbecue look is what my expectation is. But if it tastes good, I don't really care what it looks like. So I would say this is number 1.
This will be number 1.
Number 4. Is it 1, 2?
No, it's number 1, 2.
This is 1, 2, 3, and 4. So how would you rate?
There's 4 here in random order,
Right.
just to confuse me in front of you.
So no, you're going to rate this 1 through 5 on your appearance.
So I would say this one, which I believe is a number 1, is my top in appearance.
Actually, this is number 3.
This is number 3. I stand corrected. We'll have to edit that out. So number 3.
This is 1 here.
So number 3 is probably my top. I would give that like a 4 1/4. That is number 1. Number 2. I would rate as my second choice from looks. So I'll give that a 4.
And what number is this one?
This is number 1.
So you now can see my belly. So 4, I give a 4 1/4. 1, I give a 4, and 2 and 3 both a little bit lighter in color, so I'll give them both a 3. And the bumblebee, I give a 6.
He's gone.
All right, I'm done.
He wanted a rib. Okay.
Okay, my name is Matt Stropus. I'm friends with Glenn. Met Glenn through other mutual friends here.
Don't mention that name.
Okay, I'll keep his name out of this so we don't ruin the day. I expect to see ribs. I like them a little bit darker myself. I kind of like the color of, I believe that's number 1 there. That looks, as far as color, looks the best to me. I'd give that a 4 3/4 for color. And then this one, number 3, that one I'll give that a 4 as far as color. That's probably my second choice. And then this is number 3.
That's
no,
4.
That's about a 3.5 with color. That looks pretty good. It looks like it's seasoned nicely, so that looks pretty good. And then the last one over there would be number 2. That one is a little bit lighter and still looks good, but it definitely is the least of colors, probably a 3 for that as far as the color. So other than that, it's
And
all...
just as an FYI, they're all seasoned exactly the same.
Yeah, okay.
It's just the way, I guess, it sinks into the bark, by the smoke, pulling it in or whatever.
Yeah, it just seems to stick out a little bit
Yeah,
more on some than others,
okay.
but okay, all right. And that's it.
Hi, I'm Nick Petrone. I've been eating ribs for probably 55 years, and I'm here to judge some ribs. So I got 1, 2, 3, and 4. My best rib looking, I guess, mahogany, very dark, crispy crust. So I like this number 3.
Yep.
Number 1 is my second favorite.
What number would you give?
Yeah, you gotta rate them like 1 to 5.
I give this guy a 5. A number 1 would be a 4, and these two guys would be a 3. So whatever number these guys are, I'd give them a 3.
You want
That's all I have for the looks.
Oh, sorry, Matt.
All right, my name's Gary Gingrich. I'm friends with Glenn,
Newt.
and I've known Glenn since 1997, our old Aetna days. Now he works for our competitor. Boo! But at least he's working home, so he doesn't have to commute anymore. So it's a good thing. So let me take a look at these ribs here. Wow, I think I kind of like rib number 1. I'd give that a 4.5. I like the darker texture. And let's see, rib number 3, I would give that a 4. And rib number 4, we'll give that a 3.5. And what do I have left? Rib number 2? I would give that a 3.5 as well. They all look really good. I like the seasoning too. And yeah, these look very tasty, so I'll be happy to sample.
That's coming up. But again, as I said when Matt was up, they're all seasoned the same, and I just went very basic today: salt, pepper, and garlic.
Awesome.
So that's all it is.
Good basic stuff. Cool.
I'm Bob Spiker. I'm in Glenn's backyard this afternoon sampling some ribs. I know Glenn for more years than I care to remember.
2001 or something like that?
Something like that, yeah. We both made the unfortunate decision to go into underwriting and insurance. So, we're still alive. What I like on ribs as far as color, much like Nick, I like when it's dark and it looks kind of crispy. So, that being said, number 3, I would give a 4.5. For some reason I like this one. I give this one a 4.
It's number 3.
That's number
4, right?
That's number 4. I would give number 1 a 4. And number 2, let's go with 3.75.
All right, I'm Dave. I've known
Dave B.
Yeah,
Got two
Dave
Daves here
B.
today.
I've known Glenn since the old Aetna days, started in '97. So we were in underwriting together, along with Gary and a couple other guys. But I will, right off the top, from the beginning when I saw these ribs, Number 3 was a 5. I just want to eat it. It's got that nice color, sheen to it. Just, I'm going for that when it's available. And then I would go with number 1 second. So number 3 would get a 5. Number 1 would get definitely a 4, almost a 5. So it would be a 4-5. And then I would go with the 4th one would be definitely a 3.5, 4. And then that one over here, that would be a, I would give that a 3, 4. So they're all good.
Yep.
Okay.
Take 2.
Hi, I'm Dave Y. I've known Glenn for a number of years. We go to church together, and we go to a lot of musical events and other stuff like that together. I love all these ribs look great, and I wouldn't kick any of them off the plate. Kind of like the other guys, the darker ones just have a little bit more appeal. I'm not sure why, but so I would say, yeah, this first one sitting close to me, which is number 3, looks like a 5, and I would give the other one, what's that? Is that 3 back? That's number 1. Number 1, I would give a 4, and then these other 2, I would probably give like 3.5s, but they all look delicious, and I can't wait to tear into them.
I'm Brandon, son of Matt. In terms of appearance, I don't really have a preference. I would say these ones look the best. I don't know what number that is. 4. Give that a 4.5. Number 3, I give that a 4. Looks pretty decent. Number 2, I give that about a 3.5. Number 1, I give that a 3 for appearance.
All right.
Hi, I'm Dwayne Renninger. I've known Glenn since '97, back when I got shipped out of Reading to Chesterbrook for Etna. And I'm hungry, so without further ado, let's take a look. I would say number 3 to me looks the best.
Okay.
And then I'd go,
What number would you give it?
I'd give it 4.5.
4.5? Okay.
Then I'd go number 3 would be 4.25. Go with number 1 with 4, and then number 2 with 3.5.
Mario.
Hi, my name is Mario Piccolo. This is my 3rd time at Glenn's house and 2nd time tasting the ribs. I myself also like the look and the texture of a darker rib, so I would give number 3. I would give that a 5. And this rib over here is
Number 1.
This number 1. I would give a 4.5. And these 2 ribs here, a little lighter color, I would give them maybe a 3.75. Okay. Thanks.
Guys, I'm filming. All right, we just looked at the appearance, and technically everyone pretty much hit it on the head. You want that maroon color of the meat. This one to me stands out the most, number 3. This stands out as well. Then that one, and that one is just way too light for me. So the next thing we're going to be doing is looking at the smoke ring and the juiciness of the rib. A smoke ring for everyone here is, if you can look, you see a pinkish around there, and then the meat in the center. This is the smoke ring here, and it's kind of pronounced underneath here, but not so much here. But we'll get to some other things here. So that's what you're looking for. And for juiciness, you just want to give it a little squeeze and see what the juice comes out. Did I do that one already?
I'm doing.
Okay.
Yeah, middle.
So
2.
everyone's going to sit here, and they're going to pick it up and look at it, look at the smoke ring, look at the juiciness, and they're going to rate it on that. Matt.
I'll get out of your way.
All right, so we're looking at the smoke ring here. First off, so they all have definitely some smoke ring.
You can pick it up and show.
I can pick it up and show
if
it.
you want to.
So 1, you can see there's a little bit of a pink line around it. 1 probably has the least of the smoke ring. 2 has a little bit more smoke ring on the one side, a little bit less on the other. And then, 3 is a little bit darker smoke ring, and 4 is probably the most prominent smoke ring in my old eyes here. So I'm ranking them from 1 to 5 again. So
Oh, are you doing juiciness as well?
Ring. Just
smoke ring first. Don't rush me. Now.
Don't rush me, big boy.
So I'm just kidding. So number 4, I'm going to give a 4 for smoke ring. 3, I'm going to give a 3.5. 2, I'm going to give a 3 1/4 for the smoke ring. And 1, I'm going to give a 3 for the smoke ring. They're not very prominent there. So the next would be the juiciness, which I will squeeze them to see how juicy they are. So there's definitely some juice there in 1. Not much, a little bit of juice in 2. Some in 3. And not much in 4. So for the juiciness, I'm going to give 1 the juiciest here, it looks like. So I'm going to give 1 a 3.5. 2 a 3. 3 a 3 1/4. And 4 a 3 on the juiciness scale. So I'm not allowed to eat them yet. I'm just looking
No. Now you can go into tasting them. And what you're going to do is you're going to taste the first one and you're going to give it smoke flavor. You want to give texture and overall taste. Now when I say texture, some people like to bite into the rib and it fall off the bone. Some people like to bite in and have a little pullback on that. So you got to rate how you like your rib in terms of that type of texture.
All right, so
you can go ahead and bite into for number 1.
And I'm doing the overall taste.
Smokiness, texture, and taste.
That was number 1. Definitely has a smokiness to it. I like that. The texture, it's thick. It didn't fall off the bone, but I liked it. And I like the taste. So I'm going to give that 4 on all 3. 4 on smokiness, 4 on texture, and 4 on taste. Okay, so now I jump to number 2. The longer I take, the more I get to eat here.
Did you go on that inside of barbecue?
2 has a little less smokiness to it. A little bit, a little thinner, a little bit less texture to it, and I like the smokiness of number 1 better. So I'm going to give it a 3 across the board. 3 in smokiness, 3 in texture, and 3 in taste. So now speaking of 3, I'm going to do number 3. It's a little less smoky, but still very good tasting. A little bit more texture than number 2. So on the smokiness, I'm going to give it a 3 1/4. On the texture, I'm going to give it a 3 1/4. And on the taste, I'm going to give it 3.5. So now we go to number 4. Four's a little bit less smoky than number 1, and it's a little softer texture, sort of falls off the bone a little bit more. Still a good taste, but I think probably a little behind number 1 for me. So I'm going to give it, on the smokiness, I'll give it a 3. On the texture, I'll give it a 3 1/4, and on the taste, I'll give it a 3.5. Good. Sold. So I get to take this plate over and keep
Yes.
eating?
Okay, I'm back. My name is Matt. Anyway, I'll give you that. Number 1 here does have a little bit of a smoke ring to it. It looks good, nice, feels good, but the smoke ring is a little bit there. I give that a 3 on that, on the smoke ring. We'll go here to number 2. That's got a little bit better smoke ring to it. I'd give that a 3 3/4 for number 2. Number 3 for a smoke ring, that's got a little bit better smoke ring to it. That looks pretty good. I'm going to give that a 4 1/4 on the number 3. And let's see here, number 4. That's kind of looks like a pretty good smoke ring too. I'll give it a 3 and a quarter on that one. Okay, I guess I'm gonna see here as far as juiciness. Number 1's got a little bit of juice to it. Looks pretty good. Texture feels pretty good.
This is 3.
So for juiciness, let's see.
No, this is 4.
I go through these. I'll go number 2. That looks pretty juicy also. I'll go here number 3.
No.
Number 3 is pretty. I like the texture and it's pretty juicy. Let's see. I'll give all these. Okay, I'm gonna go with probably number 1 is maybe a 3.5 for juicy.
Just as an FYI, they're going to be juicier when you first take them off the grill.
Right. So,
As they sit, like we did, while rating them and everything, the juices kind of suck back into the meat a little bit. So
Right,
it's not going to be as juicy as, like you said, it's 15 minutes off the grill will be really juicy.
okay. And number 2, I don't remember what I just gave. What did I just give number 1?
Number 1, you gave a 3
3.
and a half.
Okay. I'd say a 3 3/4 for number 2, and go up progressively from there. A 4 for number 3, and I think a 4.5 for number 4 for juiciness. All right. Well, I guess it's time to taste them finally. So they look so good. I'm gonna. Oh yeah, I can definitely taste the smokiness there on number 1. I like how it pulled off the bone. Very good. A nice smoky flavor. And what was the other thing I'm supposed to?
The texture
Textures, yeah.
and overall taste.
And overall taste is, I think, very good. Very good rib. I'd give that a 4, number 1. Okay, let's see number 2 here. Okay, doesn't have quite as much smoke to it. Texture's good though. I like the texture, the way it comes off the bone. Smokiness, but like I said, just not as smoky. I'll give that like a 3.5. Number 3. Okay, I definitely like how that came off the bone. The texture is very good. Got a little more smoke than number 2. I think number 1 had the most though, but very very tasty. And let's give number 4 a try. Okay, I like the texture of that. Very good. Pulls right off the bone. Not as much smoke as the other ones, but it definitely has good flavor and very good. So, I'm sorry. Did I give you?
Want texture on number 2?
I'd give that a, we'll say a 4. And then number 3, like a 4.25 and a 4.5 for number 4. And I think that was it then. I think that's all.
You got everything?
No.
No,
So smoke
I'm sorry.
flavor
Okay.
on number 3.
3.
Okay, number 3. Okay, that was a little bit less. I'd say that's a that was it. Like oh no, it was a little more. 3 3/4. I'll say on that one.
Okay.
And then number 4. Did I give that one?
Nope.
Okay, that was a little less. I'd say a 3.5 on that on number 4.
Okay, and then just taste on 2, 3, and 4.
Okay, taste. I definitely think number 2. I'll say 3 3/4. 4 on number 3, and then a maybe a 3 for number 4 for the flavor.
Got it. Okay.
Okay.
Good.
All right, I'm going to judge on smoke rings.
Yeah.
And I'm going to go rib 1. I'm going to say it's like a 3.5. Rib 2, I'm going to give that a 4. Rib 3, I give that a 4.5. And rib 4, I'm going to give that a 3.5.
Okay.
And then what's the
Juiciness.
next? The juiciness. Rib 1, I'm going to give a 4. Rib 2 looks like a 4. Rib 3 like a 3.5. Rib 4, another 3.5.
Okay. And then smoked flavor.
Smoke. Oh, that sounds like eating
You
time.
get the taste.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Rib 1. Very smoky. Like I like it. Give it a 4.5 on smoke. Rib 2. Not much going on. Faint smoke. Maybe a 3.5 on that one.
Okay.
Rib 3's good. It's like very balanced, not too smoky. It's a 4 for sure. Rib 4 on smoky's about a 3.
Great. Okay.
Texture.
And texture's next. Yeah.
The texture, I like, it's a little pull apart, but not falling off the bone. I give that a 3. And number 2, I give that a 3.75. Number 3, give that a 3.75. And number 4 for texture, 4.5.
1.5. Wow, nice.
Really good texture.
And then taste is the last.
And taste, from what I remember, the first one, good taste of 4. Number 2, it's like a 4.5, 4.25 on number 2. Number 3 is about a 4.25. And number 4, like a 4.
Okay.
And that's it for me. Thanks.
All right, so this is Gary. I'm back. I'm going to test the first item on these 4 ribs is the smoke ring. So for rib 1, it's not as well defined of a smoke ring as some of the other ones. Still looks very tasty though, so I won't have a problem eating it. I would give that one a 3. On rib number 2, probably the most, visible smoke ring on that one. I would give that one a 4.5. Rib 3, I would give it a 3.5. And rib 4, I would give that a 3.75 for the smoke ring.
Juiciness.
Juiciness. All right, so let's try that. Rib 1, 2, okay, 4, okay. So rib 3 was the juiciest, so I would give that a 4.5 on rib 3 for juiciness. Rib 1, I would give that a 3.5. Rib 2, I'd give that a 3.5. And rib 4, I'd give that a 3.75. So is the next one taste?
It is
Smoke flavor.
Oh, smoke flavor, okay. All right, so let's try rib 1. Wow, can definitely taste the smoke. I'd give that a 4.25. And let's try rib 2. Wow, very good. Not as smoky. I'd give that a 4. And rib 3. A 4.5. And rib 4, give that a 4 1/4.
Tenderness.
Tenderness. Okay. So on rib 4, I would say that's the most tender, so I give that a 4 1/2. Rib 2 is close. I'd give that a 4 1/4. Rib 3, I would give that a 4. And rib 1, 3.75.
And then overall taste.
Overall taste. Okay. I would say rib 3. I guess I should taste each one again. So I'm going to say rib 2 is the tastiest. I give that a 4 1/2 without tasting it again. All right, let me try rib 4 again. Very tasty too. So I'd say 4 1/4 for rib 4. Rib 3, 3.75. And rib 1, I'd say 3.75 for the taste.
Very good.
And that's it.
Okay, here we go. Our first is smoke ring. All right.
With the chocolate. Did you see that video?
One's got a little bit of a smoke ring.
Made a video of him eating chocolate, dipping his fingers in
Yeah, it's on. I'll give that one a 3. Number 2 has a nice little smoke ring on one side, so I'll give that one a 3 1/2. Number 3 has a nice smoke ring on it. I'll go down 4 on that one. And then number 4, nice little smoke ring on that one too. I'll go 3.75 on number 4.
Juiciness.
Juiciness, all right. So we can tell here, squeeze it, a little moisture coming out on number 1. So I'll give that one a 4. Number 2 seems a little drier, so I'll go 3 on that one. Number 3, a little moisture on that one. I'll go 3.75 on number 3. And number 4, that's nice. I'll go 4 1/4, 4.25 on number 4. Texture?
Texture,
Smoke
right?
or smokiness? Smokiness.
Smoke.
All right, let's see here. I definitely pulled the smoke on that one. Give that one a 4 1/2 for number 1. Number 2. The smokiness in that too, but not quite the level as number 1, so I'll give that one a. What did I give the first one? 4 1/2?
4.5, yeah.
Yeah, I'll go 4 on number 2. Number 3. Give that one a 4 too. 4 as well. And number 4. There's much smoke on that one. It's more on the back end, so I'd give that one maybe a 3 1/2. Texture now?
Texture, yeah.
I like when it kind of falls off the bone. I'd give number 1 a 3 1/2. Number 2. Probably about the same, about 3 1/2. Number 3. It's nice like that. Texture-wise, I'd give that one a 4. And then number 4. Give that one a 4.5. Taste.
Overall taste.
I've tasted them enough at this point, so. I give number 1 4.5. Number 2 4.25. Number 3 4. I'm gonna go 3.75 on number 4.
So Glenn really organized these plates, 1, 2, 3, 4, and I'm looking at these, and when I look at the ring, right off the bat, 3 and 4 have the most prominent rings. I would say number 3 has the most prominent ring, and then when I go for juiciness, now obviously Glenn has educated us a little bit more about the meat and the juice coming back into the meat, so it'd be harder to tell, but I think you can do it by just squeezing a little bit and telling what's going to be what with it. I would have to say number 4 is the juiciest, and I want to give that a as far as juiciness, number 4 gets the highest rating of 5. Yeah, for ring, sorry, I'll just take a step back. Number 3 would get the highest rating for ring for me, and that would be a 5. And then number 4 would get a 4, and then number 1 and 2 would get a 1. I mean, it would get a 3. I'm sorry.
For ring, right?
For ring. And so for juiciness, number 4 is the most juicy, and that would be a 5. And then I would have to say number 3 gets the second most juicy, and that would definitely be a 4. And then 2 would get the third, and that would be a 3. And 1 would be, as far as juicy is concerned, number 1 would be a 3 as well. So I'm going to dig in, and I'm going to try to combine smoke with taste for each of these, and it's going to be a little
taste and tenderness.
And tenderness. So when I pick it up, I'm anticipating already that number 1 is going to be a very, I can't wait to sink my teeth into it after watching you guys anyway up to this point. So here goes. Okay, so I would expect it to pull away from the bone. There was a little bit of texture there. Smokiness is all there. I want to give this a 4 for smoky, and then just for the taste of it, I'm giving it a 4. Texture, definitely it's just blends so well. I'm giving it a 4. I'm giving it a high rating all around. So did I touch all the points on that?
You did, yeah.
And then for rib number 2, again, it just, they all look good, but this one here, I'm anticipating a nice bite. Pulled away really easy, not falling off the bone, but the smoke covers for that. And so for smokiness, I'm going to give that a 4 as well. And I'm also going to give it a really nice texture, taste, and that would be a number 4 as well. And then for taste, it would definitely be a 4. Okay, so I'm not refusing any of these so far. Number 3 is the one that I've been eyeing up since the beginning. And when I look at this, we'll see here. Okay, it's a little tougher. The smoke is not as prominent, so it's a little disappointing. But texture-wise, it's blending in very well. So I'm going to give this definitely like a 3.5 for all those 3 categories. Now on the number 4, I'm anticipating this one to be the juiciest and the tastiest. So pulls away from the bone. Texture wise, let's give it a 5. Smoke is not there. We'll give the smokiness to a 3. But overall taste, delicious. So I give that a 4 as well. That's it.
That's it, right?
Good job.
Okay, so we have smoke ring. Let's see.
You can do whatever works best for you. Go each category. per
Yeah, whatever
rib,
you wanna do.
Or you can do them all.
Do them all
It
at
looks
once.
like number 2 and number 4 have the most prominent smoke rings, with number 4 being the most. So in terms of smoke ring, I'll give number 4 a 5, number 2 a 4, and the other 2 don't look like they have too much of a smoke ring, so we'll give them a 3. Juiciness. Number 1 feels pretty juicy. I'll give that a 5. A little less juicy on number 2. I have to go with a 3. That one feels kind of juicy. It's number 3. We'll give a 4. And number 4 is pretty juicy too. I'll give that a 4. And then we're going with smoke flavor. Actually,
You want to do all smoke flavor, texture, and
Smoke
overall
flavor,
taste at
okay.
once. It's easier, probably.
number 1 has good smoke flavor. I like the texture, and the overall taste is pretty good. I'll give it a 4. Number 2 is also smoky, very tender. I like it. Overall taste, very good. I'll give that one a 4.5. Number 3, a little chewier. Got the smoke. And overall, it's good. I think it's very smoky. I'll give it a 4.5 on the smoke. The texture is also a 4.5, and overall flavor is a 4.5. And then this one. A little bit chewier, but still very good. Not quite as smoky. Overall flavor is good. I'll give it a 4 across the board.
The allergies. Yeah.
All right, for rib 1, smoke ring seems pretty decent. A little thin though, I'll give that a 4. Juiciness, a little bit juicy, not that juicy. I'll give it a 3.5. Smoke flavor, very smoky. I'll give that a 4.5. Taste, good, salty. I'll give that a 4. Rib 2, smoke ring.
Oh, did you get the texture?
Texture was good. I'll give that a 3.5. Second one, smoke ring. Not much of a smoke ring on this one. I'll give that a 3. Juiciness, about as the same as the first one. I'll give that about a 4. Smoke flavor, a little more not as strong, but good. I'll give that a 3.5. Texture, I'll give that 4. Pulls off pretty good. And taste, I'll give that a 4. For the third one, smoke ring, a little bit better than the others. A little thicker, I'll give that a 4.5. Juiciness, I'd say this is the most juicy so far. I'll give that a 5. Smoke flavor, good balance on that one. I'll give that a 4.5. Texture is good, it pulls off nice. That a 4.5. Taste, I say I give this one a 5. It's pretty good. Last one, smoke ring. Pretty good. I'll give that one a 4. Juiciness, decently juicy. I guess I'll give that a 3.5. Smoke flavor. Smoke flavor isn't really super present on that one. I'll give it a 3. Texture is good, not too chewy. I'll give that a 4. Taste, I like the flavor on this one. I'll give that a 4.5. That's it.
Got everything?
Good, Mario Piccolo back again. And for the smoke ring, I would say number 1 is maybe a 3. Number 2 is also a 3. Number 4, I would put that as a 2.75. And number 4, I'd give that a smoke ring of 3.5. Now for number 1, juiciness. Maybe a 3.5. Smoke flavor 4. Texture 4. And taste 3.75. Rib number 2. Smoke flavor of maybe 3.5. Texture 3.5. And taste 4.
And what was the juiciness?
The juiciness on this, sorry, maybe a 3.25. Rib number 3. Juicy 4. Smoke flavor 4. Texture 4.25. And taste 4.25. Rib number 4. Juicy 3.5. Smoke flavor 4. Texture 4. And taste 3.75. Okay? Yeah.
Good job.
This is Dwayne again. I'm the caboose, so I'm hangry at this point, so my judgment could be skewed.
Are we sampling food now?
You're on camera.
Sorry.
Starting off with smokiness, or the smoke ring, I would say number 4 would be 4.5. Say number 1 would be a 4. Number 2 would be a 3.5, and number 3 would be a 3. Next would be juiciness. I'd say number 4 has the most. That would be a 4.5. Number 3, 4.25. I'd say the other two, 1 and 2, I'd put at a 3 each. So now time to eat for number 1.
Oh, you want one of each of them?
Pretty smoky. I'd say that's a 4.5 for smokiness. Tenderness, go about a 4, and overall taste 4.25. Number 2. Number 2, a little less smoky, I'd say around 3.5. Tenderness, about the same, 3.5. And overall, 3.5. Number 3. Smoky. I'd say that more on the smoky side. That'd be a 4.75. Tenderness, about a 4. And overall, about 4.5. And number 4. I'd say that's Smokiness is about 4. Very tender. I'll give that a 5 on tenderness. And overall taste, about 4.75.
Nice.
That's it. Good game. Let's eat.
That's it.
All right, we went through everybody, and now it's time for the reveal. Got a little biased here because I know all the grills that are here, but I'm going to try to be as unbiased as I can. Rib number 1, we're looking at the smoke ring. I really don't see one in there. A little bit on this side, but not too much. Rib number 2, definitely a good smoke ring. Rib number 3, a decent smoke ring. And rib number 4, an okay smoke ring. So I'm going to go a 3 with this, a 4.5 with that, a 4 with that, and a 3.5 with that. So that's the smoke ring. Now we'll go juiciness. Number 1's got good juice. 2 is about the same. 3 is a little drier, and 4 is a juice. 1, I'm going to go with a 3.5, 2 with 3.5, 3 with 3, and 4 3.5. Is the next thing?
Okay, so the appearance
Appearance?
on, I don't think we did the first item, did we?
Yeah, I did juiciness, right?
And smoke ring.
And smoke ring.
You did
now I think
smoking,
you're
but
tasting,
do,
right?
do you do the overall appearance as well?
Yeah, in the beginning, right? No, I didn't.
No, I don't think you
Yeah,
did.
we don't worry about
You
that.
don't worry about
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
Okay.
But
So
I know
next
if you want me to do it, number 3 was number 1.
Okay.
Number, what was the one that was here? I think that
1,
was,
2, 3, I think it was.
no, that was 3 was, it was 1, 2, 3, 4. 4.
What
And
numbers would you give?
so I'd give 4.5 to number 3.
Okay.
A 4 on number 1, a 4.25 on 3, and a 2 on 4. How's that?
2 on 4.
Okay, so now we're going with
It's good to know.
what I do? Smoky flavor, right?
Yes.
Smoky flavor, texture, and overall taste.
Yep.
Number 1. Smoke in there, yes. Smoke flavor, I give a 4.5. Texture, 4. And then I'll come back to overall taste after I taste all of them. Rib number 2, texture and smokiness. Not too much smoke, but a little bit. I'm gonna go with 3.5 on that. And this is definitely tender. Comes right off the bone. I'm gonna go with a 4.5 on that. Rib number 3. Three, 4.25 on the smoky, and a 4.5 on the tenderness. Yeah. Rib number 4. Wow, that's really tender. Not much smoke though. Let's go with 3.5 on the smoke and 4.75 on the tenderness. Overall taste. Number 3 is a 4.25. Number 2 is a 4. Number 1 is a 4. And number 4 is a 4.25.
Nice.
And let me, so the reveal, number 1 was Nick's ribs on the Weber Kettle. Number 2, what was number 2? Just look on the thing and tell me what initials are on there.
PB.
Is the Pit Boss pellet grill. This is from the pellets. Number 3 is the Masterbuilt Gravity Fed Series. And number 4 is the char-griller,
Which one's the char-griller?
the blue one.
Good one.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yep.